Everybody, I'm back. I tuned it up. It actually wasn't really badly out of tune, surprisingly. But of course, you have to keep stretching the strings or it just will not stay in tune. Obviously for this video, I didn't want to wait a week to demonstrate it. So I'm going to just play it as is, but you will probably hear that it starts to go out of tune. So I was just taught a few stretching tricks that I will share with you. Maybe some people will say this is wrong, but this is what I was taught from a guitar store way back, a local store. One of the guitar persons said you just take each string in different places and kind of press on it and pull up. And then you could do, those kind of gentle stretches up and down. And keep doing that maybe every time you play, and keep playing it. The more you play it, the more quickly the strings will stretch, then they'll stay in tune for, each session. It's always a good idea to keep tuning in between songs if you're playing a set, maybe every couple of songs. So there's a tuner. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'll try to put it like that. It seems to be that eventually I might have to use a screwdriver to make a little better intonation on the lower two strings. But I want to wait and see if the strings stretch, if it kind of falls into place. So the intonation is how well it stays in tune all up the neck and down the neck. So let's just start with the E. I have to be able to see it a little. So the E is not in tune now again. It'll go green. Say the green. I hope you can see it. If you go over like I just did, then go under again until it's perfect. Okay, and now it's a little sharp on the 12th fret. That's your marker because that's an octave. And the next one is an A. See, I went down and went back up, and now it's green, and now we'll go here. Also a tiny bit, it's less sharp than the E, but just a tiny bit sharp. You might not even hear it with the naked ear. And now the D. And that's pretty much in tune. See, it goes right to green. And then the G. Let me make sure I got it. E, A, D, G. And the G is intonated correctly. B. The B is green. And the E, the high E. And that's green. So it's only the top two slightly not as perfect as it could be. A little sharp. I haven't plugged it in yet. I want you to hear how it sounds, just pretty loud. For practice, you can actually, if you don't want to disturb anybody, you can, run scales or, practice your songs. The action feels really good. Until I plug it in, I won't tell for sure, but it doesn't seem like any fret buzzing. And I've learned a little about that, where you would have to adjust the truss rod, which is right in that little hole. You use that Allen wrench, but you have to be really careful. Watch a lot of YouTube videos, and if you're still unsure, maybe take it to a luthier. And so I did have to actually do that with the Squier Classic 5, maybe in transit from Texas to here. It was hot, it was cold, who knows. But I learned, I did it. I was a little nervous. My nephew Joey and a nice guy named Jojo, actually 2 Joes, helped me. And that sounds like a song I can write. And I was able to get that one where it's not buzzing, and I even had to adjust the height of the strings because they were too high. So it was a little bit of a process, but I'm fairly happy with it right now. But of course I have to wait with the seasons and the change and see. So let's plug this in and see how this sounds. And again, this is good for me to do this because I'm pretty much a novice on the electric guitar. I'm mostly an acoustic guitar player. So this is the receiver. It goes in here. I'm just using this little Spark Go, which has been an amazing little amp that I can run my phone, which I can't now because I'm recording with it, Bluetooth, so that I can play backing tracks, which is really cool when you're learning how to solo. And now I put this part, the transmitter, into this jack and turn it on. And hopefully, whoa, you'll hear power. It's loud. All right, why don't we start with the pickups? So this is the neck pickup. I believe this is, let me just see if I can get a more of a clean sound. Yeah, that sounds like, this sounds more of a, oh, it's got delay though, hold on. All right, this sounds fairly clean. Okay, the cool thing about the Spark amp is you can get different simulations of pedals and stuff, which is really cool. So that's pretty much clean. The neck pickup, it's all the ways, which is this one. This is the one that would affect it. This is the volume. Volume's on 10 right now. And the amp only goes so loud. It's a very small amp, as you can see. Now let's put the tone control, let's go the other way. See, it changes it, the tone substantially. You hear that? So now let's try it with the next pickup. Now, I don't think this will do anything. That sounded about the same, so that didn't affect anything. So it's just this pickup, but you're using these two pickups now. Well, you were. Now this is the middle pickup. That's good. I think the middle one is still just this one. Yeah, you can hear that change. Yep. Let's see if this one changes. No, so it's just this one. And then we'll go to the right. And this one works. And this one should work. Yep. And then all the ways to the right. It'll only be this one. See, nothing's happening. So all the ways to the right is the further right pickup, tone control. All right, let's just go somewhere in the middle for a little demonstration of the sound. Okay, I didn't hear any buzzing. I'll just do some single notes. I might as well do my scales that I'm learning, some pentatonic scales for the single notes. So this is the A minor Blues Pentatonic. Sounds nice and clear to me. That's the first box. The second one. It's the second box for the A minor pentatonic. And the third box something, but I think that's the interference with the speaker, because you have to understand this is like using, you know, like whatever gigahertz and things, cell phones and such could have interference with it. I think I could change it, but I haven't learned enough about it. That was, where was I? So I have to make sure I know where I am. This is the first box. This is the second box. This was the third box. And now we're going to the fourth box. The fourth box. And the fifth box, this is why it's nice to have this cutout. actually go back to the first box, which is right here. See, and that's the cool part, is that I'm realizing it's all connected. And so this box could actually go, so if you're over here with the first box, you can do the fifth box over here, you see? So the first box was here. I believe I could do the fifth one again over here. See, isn't that a cool thing? So the synapses are synapsing. So it sounded really good to me. I mean, I got lost in trying to make sure I was hitting the right notes, but I will have to listen back on this video. Okay, so that's some single notes. Everything sounded good. I didn't hear any buzzing. Also, I wanted to mention, like when I was up here, maybe I made it sound a little sharp. I think sometimes it's how you press can affect it, because I'm a guitar player that's usually acoustic, which is heavier gauge strings. These strings are what they call 9s, and on my acoustics, I use 11 and 12s. So I need to press harder to make a nice sound. So sometimes I tend to press strings out of tune if they're lighter gauge. I learned that the hard way. So let me just do, you know, I'm gonna sing a song that a little part of a song that I wrote for my boys when they were really little. They're 29 and 33 now. And this is part of Some Days Dreams. I wanna see if I could actually accompany myself when I do gigs with this guitar, you know, so I can go back and forth between electric, acoustic, I don't know, or maybe just take this guitar with me. So let's play it. How many times have you asked me if we can ride in a hot air balloon or take a trip to the moon? And I say someday soon. How many times have you wanted to sail the ocean blue and live in a lighthouse too? And I say someday soon, someday soon. May your life be filled with some days dreams, and your dreams come true for you. May your heart remain as light, and your light a flame of truth. Oh, that's fun. I need to definitely record that whole song. I did record it years ago when they were small on a Tascam Portastudio. So I have that transferred from the cassette tape to my like phone, you know, digital. But I really should do a proper recording of it. So I really think this is going to be fun to learn on. And it's 119 bucks, folks. I mean, seriously. The only thing, you know, would have been nice is for them to include a gig bag. I have one. They're not that expensive. You can get them anywhere from $20 to, you know, $80. And, you know, you don't want to get too cheap, because if it falls over and there's not enough padding, you can damage the guitar. The best thing to do is buy a hard case. But honestly, your hard case is going to cost as much as this guitar. So at this point, you have to kind of decide, what do you really, you know, want to spend your money on. If you have it, great. So I have a gig bag, which I'll use. It's you know, fairly padded. It's a little bit, you know, enough that I think it'll be safe, as long as I, you know, don't fling it across the room. And what else can I say about this? I'm actually really impressed. I do have a Donner that's actually pretty good. It's a little heavier. It's a Telecaster-y kind of, I don't know, it's semi-hollow. So it's not really comparing apples to apples, but it's made very well. I mean, they've made some really nice instruments. I don't have one by Van Gogh yet, which is ironic, because I have unboxed so many Van Gogh instruments. So hopefully they'll send me one at some point, because I would love to compare it. But if you want a brand that's known all over the world, not just on YouTube or Amazon, you can't beat Fender, I mean, for an electric guitar, right? it's sort of like, I guess, Gibson has Epiphone as their, you know, sister or baby company or whatever you want to call it. It's their lesser expensive company. But, you know, I think they did a good job in manufacturing this. The classic vibe Squier is from Indonesia. It was made in Indonesia. And the Mexican-made one was obviously made in Mexico. And then my US one was made in San Bernardino, California. This one is made in China, where most of the other instruments that I've unboxed that are low budget come from. So, and you know, I know there are a lot of snobs out there. I'm not saying you are one, but there are a lot of aficionados that will bash this and find a lot of problems. They'll look under the hood, they'll take all this apart. I'm not really going to do that because it's not what I'm into at this point. I do like to enjoy tinkering just to make it sound good, but I'm not going to be taking everything apart and swapping things. I do want to do the whammy bar though, because my other whammy bar is locked down, which means it can't be whammy. You can't use it as a whammy bar, and I haven't had the nerve to open the back up where I have to take the screws off and adjust these springs. I'm just a little nervous to do it without help. I may have to watch a few more videos, call my nephew some more, and Jojo from the Budget Guitar Universe group on Facebook, who's been very helpful. So as I said, there are the two tools you need in here for adjusting. The truss rod is the bigger one, and the little one is to put in the holes. And maybe I should show you that, because anybody really could do that, and you should if it doesn't sound right, because you can make the action a little lower or higher depending on what you need by putting that little tool in those tiny little holes. There's 2 per string. The other one for the intonation is that screw, and you have to either push this more forward. See, some are not, they're not even, and they're not supposed to be, because it's obviously set up at the factory, which I'm really happy to see. So let's put the whammy bar in, see if it's locked down, or if I can actually do a little vibrato, which is the point of the whammy bar. So let's just screw it in. I don't know if there's any starting point that I need, but I just started. And I know that you shouldn't go too far because it needs to kind of get out of the way of you playing when you're not using it. Is it going in? Okay, there it goes. Well, it's really going down, huh? Uh-oh, I feel a little tension now. I think I can't go any further than that. So if I went again, I wouldn't be able to, you know, it might break something. So let's see if it whams, okay? I'm gonna just strike a chord. Maybe I should do a bar chord. There's a little wham. Look, it's going up. Oh my God, I can feel it. So let's just do a string. Wow. Now, when you do this, you're definitely going to make the strings go out of tune. Having said that, I've watched some videos, not on this guitar, but on other Fender type guitars, Stratocasters, or even not Fenders, but on ones that have a whammy bar. And there are people who can do it. There's all these long videos about what you have to do so that you can intonate it so correctly that when you use the whammy, it doesn't go out of tune. I've watched them. They like, and then it just plays beautiful. So let's do a few and let's see how badly out of tune it is. Now remember, I did play the song too, so we're probably starting a little out of tune. Let's listen to each string. Okay, I have to tune it. That's bad. Alrighty, I tuned it up again. I put it on the bridge pickup. And now we're gonna see what happens when we whammy. thing is, you can go down and then back up. You hear that? Wow. Some people do it so that it can only go down, and they say that perhaps that will help the tuning stability. So maybe you want to just have a little wah, but not the whole thing. The true vibrato, which is up and down like that, you can kind of mimic it on a string. You see violinists doing that. They do the vibrato with their hands. So it works. Now let's see how badly out of tune it is. That's actually not so bad. So should I lay on it a little more? That was pretty bad. Let's see. Let's see. It's a little more out of tune, but it almost feels like it's out of tune with itself, so it's not horrible. Obviously, I tuned it again. Let me see what it says. Yeah. So it made everything slightly flat. This might be a good way to stretch the strings, right? Am I wrong? Let me know. So I'm excited because I'm going to keep the whammy bar in this one because I don't have the whammy in the other two. The American made one, I was too young and maybe stupid, I don't know, but I didn't know enough about it. It was my first electric and it just confounded me, and I couldn't play because of the V-neck, and I basically let it sit in its hard case. But I have to say it was a good investment because I paid $500 with the case. American made FENDER Stratocaster 1996 Sonic Blue, and I think they're upwards of $2,000 now, if not more. So I guess that was a good investment. It would have been nice if I could have played it, but I've always had that, you know, want. So that's just kind of cool that hey, and maybe if I get good enough, I'll work around it. You know, I do have bad hands, but the better you get at something, maybe the less it will hurt. I don't know. So thank you for watching, and I don't think you can go wrong with this. That's my opinion. I am just, I'm not an electric guitar person. You can watch my videos. You can see what I do. I play lots of different instruments. I love music, and that's why I do this. And I want to keep learning, and I get frustrated when I can't learn something, and sometimes it might be because the instrument is not helping the situation. That was the case with my first guitar, where the action was really way off the fretboard. I love it. I actually kind of like my second, because my first one, my father got me with cigar bands. He used to smoke cigars. Thank God he stopped because he lived to almost 94. But we would send these bands out, and he would get stuff for free. And I wanted to play guitar when I was 15 so badly, and he did get me one. It was a Yamaha, but I don't know if it's just we didn't know how to take care of it or what to do. They were not musicians. No one in my family was at the time. So I played it, I learned on it, but it was really hard to play. And so then for my 19th birthday, after I was playing for about 3 years, I got a beautiful Yamaha that's got Indian rosewood back and sides. It's just East Indian. I think it's called Indian rosewood, but I don't think you can get it anymore. It's just really beautiful. Maybe it's East Indian, and it's a 2-piece back, I believe, or 3. I haven't played it in a while, so it's hard for me to remember, but I do once in a while pick it up. Again, it's still hard for me to play now because the action's pretty high. Maybe one day I'll find somebody who can actually help me out with that, and so that I can play it. The sound still is beautiful, and it's gotten better because it's, my goodness, it's pretty old. If you think about it, I got it when I was 19 and I'm 60, so do the math. That's a long time. So if these type of guitars were around when I was learning, I can't even imagine how far I could have gone. But it's not too late, and that's what I'm here to tell you. You can do it. Pick up the guitar, have fun. If you get one of these, I don't think you'll be sorry, because I think you'll be able to learn on it if you have the drive and you get some resources. So thank you for watching. Stay well, be well, God bless. Take care. And subscribe. I always forget to ask. Subscribe, share, do all that good stuff so I can get the algorithm to send more people to me. Take care, everybody. You want to see Gracie? She's been so good now. She was crying before I let her out when I was tuning. And no, she